Hello and welcome back to another episode of PraDa Law Live. My name is Richard Silva, and before I introduce the attorneys on our panel tonight, I want to remind you guys there is a number on the screen, and that's 888-88-LEGAL. This is the number you want to call to get in touch with us and the attorneys on this panel. I'd like to introduce all of them tonight, starting off with Alexis Garcia.
Thank you, Richard. It's a pleasure for you to be here today, and thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
And coming up next, we have Jennifer Pratt.
Not the lovely Jennifer Pratt? That's what Jackie usually says, but I'll take that.
New times.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure to be here this evening with you all.
And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, Yoel Damas.
Oh, so he gets the man himself.
He knows who writes the checks.
Who signs them?
I do. No, I'm joking. She does.
Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is...
I just pay the debt.
The truth is, I don't know who cuts the checks,
everyone, by the way.
but everyone here is important. So, and I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the screen and you're saying, wait a second, that's not Jackie. Yes,
Things got really ugly.
You're still watching the same show. So, Yoel, take us into it.
It's Mr. Damas, thanks.
Mr. Damas.
Also
Take us
known as
into it.
Attorney Damas.
Also known as Attorney Damas. Too many titles, guys.
So Richard is sitting in today for Jackie because Jackie abandoned us today, Monday, because
She got gigs. It's pretty cool now. You know.
It's Monday morning. She's hungover. You know what? I'm throwing her under the bus. She left us abandoned this morning. She is hungover. Jackie, if you're watching, stop drinking.
Oh, Lord.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is where I step in and save the day.
Super Richard. Welcome everyone to Monday and our bankruptcy program. And yes, we always start off in a light-hearted manner, but we are talking serious stuff here today.
Of course.
Right? So, two headlines that I want to start off with. One is San Francisco Bay real estate is starting to already foreclose. And we're not seeing that in a lot of places yet, but we've been warning people for a while now, hey, the foreclosure wave is coming. And I know we'll get more into maybe even short sales come Wednesday, but you know, that foreclosure wave is coming. San Francisco is starting to see it today. We all lived the last foreclosure crisis. Any advice for our people that are starting to see that uptick, and it's going to come even worse?
I have a question because I know you're literally our real estate guru at the law firm. You are.
I don't
You really
know about
are.
guru, but
you are, and I can say that because that ain't nothing but the bar. You are. I mean,
thank you.
Google this man, okay?
No.
But with that being said, why is San Francisco? Why is Bay Area important? Is it because they're like? I mean, I get it. I know they're a huge city.
It's a large metropolitan area.
Is it like, you know how they say like when the 9th district like passes something, then all the other states will pass it? Is that where the Bay Area stands? Is it like because the Bay Area is going down or real estate?
Well, my opinion, again, first of all, the Bay Area and California in general is having a financial crisis.
Okay.
So they're having all type of issues just keeping the lights on literally in the state. And we're not talking politics. They're badly ran, badly managed, and it's affecting property values to the point where there's this whole COVID epidemic that we're all living through. But then on top of that, the homelessness is through the roof.
Yeah.
You got people literally lining up the streets with tents. So property values are crashing. And on top of whatever moratorium or whatever they're dealing with to not pay their mortgage, there's people who are just saying, forget this. I'm not paying this. I'm walking away. I'm out of here.
So you're going to have like a bunch of distressed properties.
Correct. And not only that, some people with their savings and some 401k and maybe in the few $100,000, the truth is that they could move to a market. I mean, I'll just throw a market in Texas like Houston or even other places in Florida, not necessarily Miami, because Miami's a little bit high as well, but other areas of Florida, whether it's more of a metropolitan area like Orlando or like a smaller market like maybe a Lake Worth. Guess what? They're going to pay peanuts compared to the amount of money that they're owing on their Bay Area digs type of situation. So that's what I think. And I think it's almost like a perfect storm, but that perfect storm is coming, and it's coming. It might be starting in the Bay Area and these higher, more expensive areas, but it's going to ease through, and Miami at any point will go through it as well.
You know, it's great that you mentioned that because I feel like everyone at home is kind of thinking, man, we're really going through this. But it gives people at home a peace of mind knowing that it's not just Miami going through the hardship and going through the struggle, that it's also other cities around the states going through similar situations. And, you know, we all have to understand that we're going to get through this together. And one of the ways by getting through that together is by getting out of your doubts. And how do you get out of your doubts is by asking. And here at PraDa Law, we're ready to answer all those questions and get you out of those doubts. That number is 888-88-LEGAL. Call us.
Mr. Silva, you're right. One of the reasons we put this program together is so people could understand that they're not alone. So people could hear our stories, hear the stories that we bring from what we deal with every day. Because the truth is that there's people suffering, right? COVID has changed everyone's world. And go ahead, Attorney.
I see that one point daily because I handle the bankruptcy cases. So as the clients come in and I meet with them, they just say, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm filing bankruptcy. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so upset. And, I have to remind them daily, like so many people are going through this. You're not alone. This is a law and this is here for you to help you.
Definitely. Bankruptcy and whether it's a loan modification, you got to act. It's about acting. The truth is that the market is shifting for anybody. There should be no shame in filing for bankruptcy. There should be no shame in dialing that phone number or asking for help. Don't like Mr. Silva said, don't go to sleep tonight with that doubt. Just make that call. The consultation is free. The phone number is free. There's no reason for you to go through this alone whatsoever. Now, we're going to go to a brief commercial break shortly, but when we get back, one of the articles I read this week, people are saying that the bankruptcy code, the way it is written, is not enough, and they want more. Right. So someone like you, that all you've done for the last 10 years, Attorney Garcia, is work on bankruptcies. I want to get your take on it. I want to get your take on it as well, Attorney Pratt. When we get back, because I find it interesting. I've always found bankruptcy to be so powerful, and all of a sudden people are saying it's not enough. I'd like to learn from you guys and hear a little bit about your thoughts when it comes to that. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. In the meantime, it's simple. 888-88-LEGAL. Don't go anywhere.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo? ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera de 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our show, PraDa Law Live, where we are here to provide you with not only answers, but solutions to anything that might be causing some stress, some discomfort in your mind. And before we kick it back, I just want to remind you guys that the number on screen is there to take you out of any of your doubts. 888-88-LEGAL. Do not let your doubts take you out. Now, Mr. Damas.
Now, Mr.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Are you a rapper?
No, I'm not. That one, I gotta say, that one was pure luck, so thank you. Thank you.
All right, you guys let us know if we're replacing Jackie with since she drank too much this weekend.
Unbelievable. Here we go.
We're joking. Relax, everybody, chill. All right, so right before the break, we were discussing an article that we read because we shared it together, where people are literally saying, "Hey, the bankruptcy code is not enough," right? So, you know, some of the things bankruptcy code protects is your home,
Right.
if it's your homestead, your 401k, your retirement accounts. I mean, just that alone to me is enough.
Right.
But, you know, Attorney Garcia, you've been doing this for 10 years now.
Right.
What would you change in the bankruptcy code?
Oh, okay, great. So here's the problem with the bankruptcy, certain aspects of the code. The code was rewritten in 2005 under what we call BAPSIPA, and it's the Bankruptcy Abuse Prevention Act. Allegedly, prior to 2005, a lot of debtors abused the process. So it was rewritten and it made bankruptcy harder. So you have a lot of things change after 2005 that made it more difficult. The biggest problem, though, that I see with the bankruptcy code, and let me aim to our Florida, you know, to Miami and Florida, are our exemptions. Now you have what are exemptions? Exemptions, excuse me, are bankruptcy protections that you use to protect your assets. The homestead exemption, which we speak about all the time. The 401k exemption. The problem is Florida opts out of the federal and uses state. Our state exemptions for some personal goods aren't that great compared to other states. So for example,
Personal goods are?
Your furniture in your home, your bank accounts. Now, you can have, you know, $150,000 in your 401k, not in your savings. If you have a homestead and you use your homestead protection, you can only have $1,000 in the savings to be considered protected or exempt from the bankruptcy code.
But I don't want to confuse people.
Right.
If you have 300 grand in your retirement, you're fine.
You're fine. You know, don't touch that. We're talking just a CD, a savings account, a basic account, you know, at the bank. If you go to other states, those exemptions are different. So it's not the same. I think New York has up to like $11,000 you can have in personal property.
In additional.
Additional personal property, correct. So, but their homestead exemption isn't as great. It's not unlimited. In Florida, you can have $1 million house. In New York, you can't. So there's a lot of inconsistencies because of your ability to opt out as a state of the federal protections. And I think maybe if we had a little more consistency in some of the exemptions, that might be a little easier for the code.
So, in plain English, what would you change? What would you propose?
Okay. I would propose better protections for personal property. $1,000 is $1,000 for a vehicle. What vehicles are worth $1,000? You can junk a car for $500. You know, so $1,000 to protect a vehicle. This was written in Florida years ago when a car was worth $1,000. I'm talking 1800s when cars were not that far back. I'm exaggerating, but you know, when cars were barely worth anything. When Ford was initially making cars, you know, $1,000 seemed great back then. It has not been rewritten. It's not feasible.
You know, Attorney Garcia, I'm so glad that you get into the details, because the truth is the average person watching us at home may get lost in the technicalities and may get lost in the loopholes that are available to help. And, you know, I feel like that just gives that person that peace of mind that they should hire an attorney and bring someone on who's knowledgeable on what they're going through and who can help them find a solution. And here at PraDa Law, we have plenty of attorneys who can help you with that. All you have to do is make that free phone call to the number below, 888-88-LEGAL, and we'll be happy to help you get through whatever struggles you're going through.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. Attorney Pratt, what changes would you see in the code?
Well, you know, unlike Attorney Garcia, I handle a lot more creditors' work in bankruptcy, and I feel like some of these debtors get away with murder, literally. I mean, I've been on the other side.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I've been on the other side.
Security.
I don't want to discourage anyone from filing bankruptcy, because I've represented creditors where the debtor is filing bankruptcy, and you know, literally the year before, their business made $35 million, and they filed a Chapter 7. I shut. Nobody protested. And again, I know every case is different.
That means that they had a good attorney.
They had great attorneys,
and by the way,
actually.
we go on this show and we tell people all the time, Attorney Garcia, that if they haven't had income in the last 6 months, it is the right time to file that bankruptcy, even if they made $35 million.
Because you made $35 million in your business, but what were your business costs? What were your business expenses? What was the business overhead? What happened? Is the business closed now? There's so many things that could have happened. That just because you had that money last year does not mean this year you shouldn't be able to file.
He had a car I can't even
Well,
pronounce.
if that mansion is in Florida and it's homestead, it's protected. So one thing I will agree then with Attorney Pratt, I don't agree with the part of the creditors, but I do agree that bankruptcy offers plenty of protection. And I'm not sure what people are talking about overhauling. I'm not sure what other protections they want, even though Attorney Garcia wants more. I think there's plenty. Take advantage now. We got to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. We want to discuss all these businesses that have filed for bankruptcy lately. We'll be right back.
I know you're home right now asking yourself, how? How will I pay my rent, my mortgage, my bills, my credit card debt? I'm attorney Alexis Garcia with PraDa Law. I've personally helped people with financial problems over the last 10 years. I understand what you are going through. We saw people lose it all in the 2008 financial crisis. You don't have to lose it all. The consultation is free. Call us now. I will help protect what you have built. You have nothing to lose by calling us. Call us now. These are trying times. This deadly virus is affecting our health, economy, jobs, our small business owners. Bankruptcy protection may be able to save assets and immediately stop your creditors from harassing you. Small business owners, employees of business of any size, we know you need help. Call us now. We will help you get back on your feet. Don't wait until it's too late. This is the time to call.
Sé que estás en la casa ahora mismo preguntándote, ¿cómo? ¿Cómo voy a pagar la hipoteca, la renta, los biles, las tarjetas de crédito? Soy la abogada Jennifer Pratt con PraDa Law. Yo personalmente he ayudado a las personas con problemas financieros durante los últimos 10 años. Yo entiendo por lo que estás pasando. Vimos cómo la gente lo perdió todo durante la crisis financiera del 2008. No tienes que perderlo todo. Llama ahora. La consulta es gratis. Te ayudaremos a proteger todo lo que has construido durante todos estos años. Sabemos que estos son tiempos difíciles. Este virus mortal está amenazando nuestra salud, nuestra economía, nuestros empleos y a los propietarios de nuestras pequeñas empresas. La consulta es gratis. Llame ahora. Te ayudaremos a recuperarte. No esperes hasta que sea demasiado tarde. Llame ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PraDa Law Live. I am Richard Silva, and before we even get started and I toss it back to our attorneys, I just want to remind you guys, don't let another second of doubt, confusion, stress keep you from making a phone call that may help you and may change your future. Call us. The number's right here, and it's very simple. 888-88-LEGAL. Let us help you get through these tough times. Mr. Damas.
Thank you, Mr. Silva. So before the break, we were discussing the bankruptcy code, and actually, I think we're all in agreement. It's a very powerful code, whether we are in agreement or disagreement, whether there should be additional things should be added to it. We are definitely in agreement that it's very powerful to use. And one of the people that use this powerful tool so much are businesses, whether they're small or large businesses. They get to take advantage of protections so they don't lose it all. And again, going back to what Mr. Silva said earlier, we pride in putting this show together so you guys understand that you're not alone and that what you're going through is not something that you're on your own with. There's solutions to all your problems. There's ways to figure things out. And some of the businesses that have taken advantage of bankruptcy protection, Attorney Pratt, you have a list, and we'd like to share it with our viewers, because I think they're going to recognize many of the names.
Yeah. A lot of these I don't recognize, but a lot of these I do. And, what do I know, right? But, for example, True Religion Apparel, I know Attorney Garcia had a joke about them. But, yes, a lot of people do wear True Religion. CMX Cinemas, and, they had just opened up, I think, in, like, the Brickell area. It's a Brickell.
CMX, aren't they
the theater place? I think, and I think, they're like the dine-in, and it's like very classy.
Do you blame cinemas? I mean, poor guys have been through.
Yeah, everything is Netflix now. I don't know what they're doing.
And then the pandemic, when you can't be indoors anymore.
Yeah. Cinemas have suffered.
It is pretty crazy because we went from living in a world where you would watch TV and see the next movie you wanted to watch, and the screen would say coming soon, and now everything says streaming soon.
Right. Yeah.
because these cinemas are gone. They're non-existent.
Even like concerts, I read or I heard a commercial. They were like, "Get your streaming front row passes now," and I thought to myself, "What does that mean?"
I wouldn't buy that.
I don't know if it's the right program for this, but I'll tell you a quick story. Spotify, I read an article this week and why they're saying that the world just changed for good, and that is your average concert was holding, and we're talking about the mega concerts, the U2s of the world, right? They're selling out 40, 50,000 person arenas, right? So a band out of Taiwan literally just went on, a very popular band with Spotify. They were able to cut the average price of the ticket from $60 to $10. You want to know how many people attended that concert? 2 million. Yeah. 2 million people attended one concert. So I agree with you, but the band is saying, well, you know, I love my audience, but do I want to play for 60,000 people or do I want to pay for 2 million?
I like small venues.
I agree, Attorney Garcia, but I think the world has changed.
Oh, I don't like that. I sound old. I don't like that.
I'm with Attorney Garcia in the sense where I feel like that intimate moment you get when you see a band live will be missed, but at the same time, it's insane to see what these artists and what these big name companies are doing to basically adapt and adjust to the current situation. Like I even found out through one of my kids that there was an artist who hosted a full concert via Fortnite, which is a game.
Oh, my son was telling me something about that.
There's artists.
Dragons was doing that, I think.
I honestly can't remember what artist it was, but it's crazy how even everyone in the world is adjusting.
And before we keep going on the names, I know you have a whole list, Attorney Pratt, but the truth is that you need to adjust to today is the point.
I know.
And whether you're pivoting because you're changing your business model, or you're filing for bankruptcy protection, or you're getting a modification, you need to pivot. If you stay still right now, you're gonna get knocked over and it's game over.
Agreed.
You need to do something, and that is what I would close it with before we keep on.
And I'll continue with the list, but even like, for example, companies that help throw parties and stuff, like they were completely out of business, and how creative have they been that they now do those drive-through, and I've seen on social media where there are the clowns and the actresses and everybody, they're just walking through the neighborhood and they've got the signs and they're now selling the signs, and it's like, you just readjust it.
Drive-in movie theaters are starting to pick up.
I heard that's
who's been to a drive-in? Oh, you have. All right.
Talking about
drive-in movie theaters.
Talking about.
But it's funny how this has, in essence, culture shocked us, because drive-in movie theater was something of the past for people.
I take my kids to those. We love it up in the swap shop in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, I go there all the time. I love it.
Every shop will remind us, so I know all about the swap shop. But okay, Halloween is coming up not too soon, not too far away from now. Ruby's costume filed for bankruptcy. J. Crew, Gold's Gym, Neiman Marcus.
Gyms. If you're a gym owner, file for bankruptcy. Look for protection.
JCPenney, Pier 1 Import, Hertz.
Retail, definitely.
Retail was hurt prior to the pandemic because of all the online shopping, and this just completely pushed them over, this pandemic. It just killed them.
GNC, like who's working out anymore, right? Cirque du Soleil, I mean, really, Lucky Brand.
Well, again, it's these venues where there's entertainment. They were shut down. Restaurants, gym, entertainment venues.
California Pizza Kitchen, like, oh, they're so yummy. Lord and Taylor.
If you're a restaurant, if you're a gym owner, if you are an entertainment venue, or any other retail shop, or anyone that's really been hurt, it's about pivoting. It's about finding the way through the future. It's about finding your way and getting protection. Don't lose it all. Don't give up your home. Don't give up your savings. Don't give up everything that you have, because the world has changed. Everyone is going through it. Don't feel like a failure. It's about pivoting. You were successful once. You will be successful again. There's a road forward. Just make sure you get legal advice, make sure you get the right advice, and make sure that you act now. That phone number is simple, 888-88-LEGAL. I want to thank Attorney Garcia, Attorney Pratt, Mr. Silva. We got to say goodbye. See you tomorrow.